it out, guys. I liked that comment in your press conference. But, Peter, I want to circle back to you first. We got to start with that controversial ending to the game last night with the missed face mask call. It looked like you really got a hand on it, but as you sort of said in the highlight, that's not a reviewable play. Why? What more can you tell us?
Yeah, let's explain this. I mean, clearly it's a face mask. It is. If you want to see the play, he gets cleared by a fit. But there was no flag. The officials didn't see it. So you say it's under 2 minutes and it's a scoring play. Review it. Go to New York. By the letter of the law, it can't be reviewed. After the game, there's the pool reporter. A reporter is assigned to be able to speak to the officials. A reporter did ask the lead referee, Jerome Blake, was there a discussion on the field? Because obviously the Vikings are complaining about it. Did your crew have a discussion like, hey, did we miss this or anything like that on the field? And Blake, to the pool reporter, responded, on the field, we definitely discussed it because they did bring it up. We discussed it as a crew, but we weren't able to see it on the field, so we weren't able to make that call. Remember, letter of the law, is that play reviewable? It's not reviewable. So Vikings fans, we hear you. NFL fans who are watching objectively or not so objectively, we see you. It's clearly a face mask, but the refs didn't see it. It's a human error. It's what it is. So complain all you want. In the rule books, this is a non-reviewable play. It's one of the few penalties that is simply just non-reviewable, regardless of 2 minutes, regardless of what it is. But I also think, Sherry, they're down 8 with less than 2 minutes to go in the back of their end zone. I don't want to take the win away from the LA Rams over a play that was, yes, significant, but also was not exactly a scoring play at the other end zone. It would have decided the game. Yeah, a lot to unpack there. I know there's a lot of unhappy Vikings fans with that. But the Rams, we got to give them their flowers. They looked very different last night. A large thanks to Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp back out there on the field. Manta, I saw you have a reaction there just to the face mask. But overall, what did you really like, and what did this tell you about the Rams?
What did I like? What did I love? I mean, if you were ever guessing what impact two people could have on a team, just watch not only the impact that Puka and Kupp had when they had the ball, and they got the ball, especially Puka a fair amount, but watch the way that whole team rallied, especially the way that those holes opened up for Kyren Williams. Richard Sherman identified it at halftime, how wide those holes were, how big those, I think he was averaging around 5 to 6 yards per carry. Kyren Williams, I said yesterday, all you need to do is get this young man in the low red zone and turn the ball over to him, and good things happen. It's been happening all year. He ran that angle route for that touchdown in the first quarter, similarly to how he did it against the 49ers. Kyren Williams is automatic down there, but when you have Cooper Kupp and you have Puka Nacua, I mean, Shrek G pointed out, they were doubled all game long. So what does that do? Guys, I don't know. I don't remember Minnesota blitzing a lot last night. Do you? And this is a team that has the highest blitz rate in the NFL. But I did not see them blitz a lot. And these are the type of effects that having Cooper Kupp in, that having Puka Nacua in has on a team, for your team and the defending team. It was so nice to watch. It was nice to see Matt Stafford get into his groove, smile again. And it reminded me of Rise of the Skywalker, when all hope was lost and they think they're defeated, and then Lando's fleet shows up. That was Puka Nacua and that was Cooper Kupp. So I loved watching last night's game.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you talked about, Brian Flores. We talked about that pressure that we like to see out of that Vikings defense, a very aggressive defense. But when you look at the way this game was played, being able to establish the run with Kyren Williams on first and second down, that made it very, very difficult. And on top of that, you looked at a lot of the pre-snap motion that the Rams had. They were doing that stuff back and forth. Nobody runs pre-snap motion more than the Rams, and that can make it extremely difficult on the defense. And I thought one of the biggest glaring differences with the Vikings defense is the fact that they don't have Blake Cashman. I mean, you think about Blake not being there to be able to, that middle linebacker being able to get the play call and make all of those adjustments. It was a lot of adjustments to be made in that game. But, I want to go into the Rams, because the Rams, to me, they showed something. They just showed us that they were playing on that low battery mode. You know, low battery mode, when you get the little yellow sign, I don't have everything. But once you have everything operating at full power, man, they were exciting. It was fun. It was a fun game to watch. Now, I will say this. I don't know about all that conversation about Cooper Kupp being traded. That seems a little ridiculous. In fact, that seems really ridiculous to even think about trading Cooper Kupp, because that offense was totally different when we saw Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, and, of course, Cooper Kupp going at it. And it made a big difference for Kyron Williams.
Well, I'm close to this, Akbar. As someone who does reporting on this network and someone who is often out there on the front lines, I've got a relationship with the Rams, and people look to me and say, well, there's reports out there that Puka Nacua is out for the next 21 days. What do you say? I say, hold on. And there's reports out here that Cooper Kupp is going to have to, be shipped off. And I said, what I said yesterday on the show, I said, if they win tomorrow, put that stuff away.
Yep.
Put that stuff away. If they win tomorrow. And I stand by that report. I think people were jumping the gun, and McVay seemed rather peeved after the game. He said, yes, people called us, but reports that we were calling around shopping Cooper Kupp, that's speculation. Also speculation is ever putting this team down before they're actually eliminated. I am so impressed with the way that this team has rallied around itself in a matter of 5 days, winning 2 games, and found themselves right back in the thick of things in the NFC playoff picture. Consider this. They were 1-4 going into their bye week. Stafford was with me on NFL Kickoff at Fox. We were all talking, and he said, we are not done yet. We got to get our guys back. Injuries matter, but hang in there. Well, they go and they beat the Raiders, and then 4 days later, they go and they take care of business against what was hyped up as one of the most pressure-filled, blitz-happy teams. Flores couldn't blitz. Manti, you nailed it. When you have Nacua and Kupp, you have to cover those guys and account for them. It's also why Demarcus Robinson's able to score these touchdowns. He's on single coverage the entire game. The offensive line held up. What a difference these 2 wide receivers make, but what a difference coaching makes. McVay never gave up on this team. McVay never bailed on this team. Last night, he became the all-time winningest coach in LA Rams history, having 80 wins to his resume. This guy's not 40 years old yet. An incredible performance out of what they did. And I'll wrap it with this.
Wow.
All that stuff about, the trades and the it's fair to talk about it before the deadline. And yes, Cooper Kupp is an obvious name for it. But think about what that does internally, how everyone's looking at each other and saying, well, is this true? How are you doing? The fact that they were able to stay in the pocket and stay together and just focus on the football, that's pretty cool stuff. And yes, controversial call or not, it goes their favor in this one, and they win the game. There's no apologies for that win. They were dealing with the flames and the fire of just conflict and controversy and everyone, talking about them. They were able to focus on the football, and they found a way to go 3-4 and stay alive.